We made an invitation for people from around the world to participate in a program about 4 months where they could come with an idea that they had, and they were looking forward to take us the next step to make it something very concrete. I'm going to explain in a minute about the Impulse Game. So just to give you that context, there are about 19-20 people here who have participated in the Impulse Game. We're going to present the projects that they have been building over time. They were looking in what we call global program for a pilot that was focused on foster incubation.
We have been working together for the last year with the Impulse Game, which is an incubation process of projects that aims to promote social change, positive social sustainable change.
How can you really raise that collaboration with other people in the world? And at the same time, how can you make it sustainable when it's online? That is a huge challenge.
The Impulse Game process was on an online platform where people were challenged to go through 7 steps, 7 phases. And along the way, people were asked to look for other people on the platform, to get to know them, to look at what are our common values, what are actually the dreams that we maybe have in common. And the last step was number 7, presented at the Impulse Festival. So this is literally the last step of the process. And besides the fact that they get on the platform the tasks and the support of the other players and the materials, there's also group calls that we had where you can see each other, and we had several coaching sessions, we had master classes that were fitting with the several steps so they could advance and get knowledge in order to progress and finish the project. And I think through that people started seeing other faces and already getting to know each other beyond just writing. Although they're invited also to connect one-on-one, but I think the group calls really helped to create already some form of group.
The beauty of it all was that if you missed a masterclass, it was pre-recorded, so you could have it at your own time within a specific period and still continue to watch and learn.
There are super many solutions and many things can happen when people get together.
I would like to start with this question: what do you have to do with politics? Because like 3 or 4 years ago, I would probably say nothing. In Brazil, we have many problems related to politics in general. People don't want to talk about that. In our family, we don't talk about that. In the school, we don't talk about that. So we need to be closer to politics. So I decided to found a project with my colleagues to talk about that, to demystify what politics is and how things work in Brazil. So we have a web platform where we produce content every day in video, text, infographics, everything to help people to understand politics in a fun and easy way.
4 years ago, Natalia and me decided that we wanted to work on something creative with old clothes. So we asked our friends to donate us the clothes they had in the closets and were not going to use anymore.
I have to say that in the beginning I was really thinking like, oh my god, what I'm doing here? My project has nothing to do with anybody here. They are all, I could see connections everywhere, but not with my project. And walking the path, I saw like a Jane's project.
In the third stage, I got a message from one of the participants from Spain. I've never met her before. We were just virtual strangers, and they're doing a travel lab here. And she said, you know what, we do recycling of clothes, and I think maybe with your washing machine we can think about something together. So I experimented a little bit until I came up with something which is called Mama Osha. I don't have a washing machine because it's expensive in my country, and also it uses electricity and consumes a lot of water. And then I imagined the other families who actually face this on a day-to-day basis. How do you wash clothes without running water or electricity? And realize that I can actually wash clothes by spinning through centrifugal force.
Yeah, I also talked, for example, with Gabriel, that our projects seem to be nothing to do, but we are also wondering to get into schools, and so just this fact, knowing how does this work in Brazil, and you see that there's many things in common that how works it here.
The platform is developed as a game that has different steps. In each step you have like different doors that you can open.
In general, what makes a community works is that the community has a purpose. In Impulse Game, the game is the driving force. All these people is there because they are playing the game. Even if they have different topics and different projects, all have this thing in common, that is the game.
But what if we already have all this wisdom inside us or around us? I didn't give you any kind of type, any kind of guidance. I just told you, find a way to touch someone. No, I give a challenge, and nobody told me, how would you God? What is the methodology? What is it? This is hard, I cannot find. The group out there is no color to people here. They go like for a while saying, oh, it's no. And suddenly they say, oh, the whole group, there's resource right around you. We know how to find it. In the fields of game, we already are collaborative or cooperative, naturally. In the field of game, you bring right away, out of nothing, the best version of yourself.
Gamification is a good way to educate people, like in a fun way. They don't pay attention too much, like, oh, I'm learning something like in this hard way, but I'm playing.
The Impulse Game makes you the process like more flexible, and you can adapt it for a network or for social entrepreneurs or for a school.
This is a moment, as Neil said, going from the big concepts around collaboration to practical local projects. They're gonna have a stand in the marketplace where you can go ask more questions. If somebody said something that really inspired you, go and share.
It was more like now creating a family. And meeting here is wow. After all those weeks of just seeing you on Skype, now we are meeting face to face.
It was really fun to be so many people around the world, but also like you could see like the big distance. But very fast we were really close. And the other day when we met, you feel so close, and you know many things from these people.
To collaborate online, it was like a challenge and something new, but I really liked it. It was possible to collaborate and to like improve our projects together.